What is going on, my friends? How are we doing today? It is great to see you guys. Today's date is November 23rd, 2020. My name is Ryan Williams, and we are back with our 5th episode of Market Mondays. Now, for those of you who are new to this channel, Market Mondays is a weekly video series where I show you exactly which stocks I'm buying for the week. Every single week, I invest at least $100 into the stock market. Last week I did a little bit more, which we'll get to later. But yeah, essentially these videos show you which stocks I'm buying and just kind of keep you updated on my portfolio as we go and as we grow. Ooh, I kind of like the way that rhymed. Anyway, guys, we are in for a jam-packed episode today. In last week's episode of Market Mondays, which you can watch right here, we picked up a few shares of AT&T. And in today's episode, we are going to be buying some Philip Morris and some Starbucks. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, guys, now before we get into it and buy the stocks that we're gonna buy today, I do have a couple of housekeeping items that I wanted to run through with you real quick. So later last week, I did make a few adjustments to my portfolio, and I just wanted to run through those with you real quick. It's nothing crazy, but you know, I wanna keep you guys in the loop. That's the point of doing these videos. So let's open up Robinhood real quick. And so for starters, while it's right in front of me, you know, I'm actually doing pretty solid today. Looks like we're up over $100, just over $100, which is a gain of about 1.3% so far. That's exciting to see. Great way to start the week. Let's hope it keeps going. So, like I said, couple housekeeping items. I just want to go find my order history real quick. Statements in history, show more. So guys, the first change that I made last week, I actually sold out of my position of Procter & Gamble. You know, nothing wrong with Procter & Gamble. It's a great company, it's a safe company, and it pays a great dividend, and I think it's paid a dividend for like over 60 years, so it's a safe dividend. The reason that I sold Procter & Gamble was because I wanted to use those funds to invest into a different stock. You know, and I have other safe dividends, so I wasn't super worried about giving one of them up at this point. So I sold Procter & Gamble, and I used that money to buy this IIPR you see right here. And that stands for Innovative Industrial Properties. So I sold Procter & Gamble to buy IIPR, and then I actually had another change of heart. I know I'm skipping over something right here. I'll come back to that. I sold IIPR to put into MJ. And what MJ is a cannabis company ETF. So it has a ton of different cannabis companies in one ETF. I wanted to buy into that. I know this is kind of a controversial industry at this point, but I do see a great future for it, and I do think there is some money to be made. So I wanted to try my luck with this ETF, and I don't know a lot about the companies in this industry, so I figured going with an ETF was a safe bet, would diversify me enough with the companies within that industry, and would also, you know, get me in the game, as they say. So that's, you know, the first thing I did last week. Nothing too crazy, you know. But then if we look at here, Coty market buy $200. So I invested $200 extra last week into Coty, which I don't usually just pull the trigger on stuff like this. But yeah, anyway, I did in this case, and I actually made a whole video on this stock and why I put $200 into it. You can see that right here, give it a watch. So that's pretty much the extracurricular stuff that I did last week that you guys haven't seen yet. So I wanted to bring you in the loop and show you where we're at. All right, guys, now that that's done, let's actually get into the meat and potatoes of this episode and go buy us some stocks. I mean, that's what we're here to do, right? So let's take care of it. Let's scroll down and find which stocks we're gonna be buying. So normally, guys, I would split this pretty evenly, put like $33 into Coty, 33 into Philip Morris, and 33 into Starbucks. But since I already spent $200 on Coty last week, or COTY, I don't know how you pronounce it, but because I put $200 into that last week, I'm gonna hold off on putting any more into it today, and I'm just gonna put $50 into Philip Morris and $50 into Starbucks. So let's start with Philip Morris. So right now, Philip Morris is currently sitting at $75.98 per share. And because I'm putting $50 into it today, that should get me about 2/3 of a share. And I already have almost 4 shares, so this will get me over that 4 share mark. So let's hit trade, buy, $50, review, and swipe up. So we were almost right there, 0.65 shares, pretty much 2/3 of a share. Cool, so now we have 4.64 shares of Philip Morris. Now let's move on to Starbucks real quick. So Starbucks is currently sitting at $97.12 per share, and I have basically 5.87 shares of Starbucks. So putting $50 into it is gonna get us about half a share right now, which will put us somewhere in the 6 1/4, 6 1/3 share range. So let's hit trade, buy, and I guess I have 51.62. I think I had a dividend that didn't get reinvested, but I'm honestly not sure where it came from. But let's put all this into Starbucks. So 51.62 into Starbucks. Okay, about half a share, just over. And it looks like that takes us from 5.87 shares up to 6.4 shares. It's a little bit more than what I was thinking, but I'm not mad at that. All right, guys, so those are all the stocks that we're buying today. Before we move on to the next step, though, let's just take a look at how this portfolio has been performing over the various periods of time here. So in 1 week, I'm up, not by much. Earlier this morning, I was down for the week. I was down like, I guess about 1%. For the month, I'm doing pretty well, up over $500 and a smoking 7%. That's nice. In the last 3 months, I'm up 7.5%, so $550 almost. And then in the last year, I'm currently up 10.86%, which is almost $800. I think at its highest, this portfolio was up in the 12%, but it didn't stay there very long. But at any rate, I'll take almost 11%. I'm pretty happy with that. And this is really just my first year still of serious investing. So I'm hoping as the years go on and as I learn more, I'm able to grow. Instead of growing by 11% per year, maybe I can grow by 20, 30 upwards. I mean, the whole goal is to just get better over time. So I think I can do it. All right, guys, moving on to step 2. We are on trackyourdividends.com and we need to update the portfolio here. This is just something I always do. If you're not familiar with trackyourdividends.com, I'm sorry guys, I say this in all of the Market Monday videos, but if you're not familiar with trackyourdividends.com, I highly recommend you get on it. It's a free online tool that essentially will break down by each stock that you own how much dividend income you're making, and then it can add it all up and show you, your dividend annual income in total. It has some other really cool features too that I highly recommend utilizing. So at least check it out, it's free, can't hurt. So step 2, guys, now that we've bought those stocks on Robinhood, I just need to update my positions on Track Your Dividends so it can update the dividend yield and update the annual income. Now, before we do that, let's just look at where I'm currently sitting at. Currently sitting at a 3.44% dividend yield with an annual income of $267. Now, this is just my annual dividend income here. Now, because we've bought Philip Morris and Starbucks today, both of which pay a dividend, I don't know about the dividend yield going up, but I know that this annual income number will go up at least a little bit. So let's see how these purchases, affect the portfolio or affect the dividends. So let's scroll down. Let's find Philip Morris real quick. Okay, let's hit edit. Okay, so I no longer have 3.98333 shares. I have 4.641311 shares at an average cost of 74.94 per share. So let's update that. And I don't want to look at the results yet, guys. Let's move on to Starbucks and update Starbucks before we check it out. So let's scroll down. Let's find Starbucks real quick. Okay, so with Starbucks, I no longer have 5.87 shares. I now have 6.399259 shares at an average cost of $85.27 per share. Haven't looked yet still, can't see. So here comes the big reveal. So real quick, my predictions, we were at what, like a 3.44% yield and 267 for the income. I think the dividend yield went from 3.44% to maybe 3.48%. That's my guess. And I'm guessing the annual income went from 267 to maybe 271. That's what I'm guessing. Okay, so 3.48% yield and then 371 for the income. Let's check it out. Okay, I was not too far off at all. So dividend yield, I was off. It went from 3.44 to 3.45%, but I was spot on with that annual income. So it went from 266 or 267, I don't remember, 267 to 271. Nice, okay, yeah, good guess, I guess. All right, guys, well, that pretty much concludes this episode of Market Mondays. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I hope you guys enjoy all of these episodes of Market Mondays. I really enjoy making these videos and keeping you updated on, you know, which moves I'm making, what I'm buying, what I'm selling. These are probably the most fun videos for me to make so far, and I hope you guys enjoy them as well and actually get something out of them. With that said, I know you guys know what I'm doing this week. I would love to hear which stocks you guys are buying for the week. So if you wouldn't mind doing me a favor, well, first of all, give this video a big like if you haven't done so already. It really, really helps me grow and lets me know that I'm doing a good job if you guys leave those likes. So thank you for doing that. Additionally, leave me a comment below. Let me know what you're buying for this week. What's looking good? What's looking bad? Let's get a conversation going. So anyway, I will now get out of your guys' hair. Thank you so much for watching this video. Like I said, I hope you guys enjoy these, and I will see you in the next one. Have a great day.